Your life is a blank canvas right now. At this very moment, you hold the brush, the colors you choose, the strokes you make, that's all up to you. Many of us are afraid to make that first stroke. We're paralyzed by the fear of making a mistake, of ruining the canvas. But I'm here to tell you something profound. No risk, no story. Your life story isn't written in the comfort zone. It's not penned in the safe harbors of familiarity. Your story, the one that will inspire others, the one that will leave a legacy, that story is written in the moments when you dare to step out into the unknown. Life isn't about existing. It's not about merely surviving from one day to the next. Life is about thriving. It's about growing, evolving, becoming more than you were yesterday. And growth, my friends, doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in challenge. It happens when you're stretched beyond what you thought you were capable of. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. But what if I fail? What if I take a risk and it doesn't work out? Let me ask you this. What if you succeed? What if that risk you're considering is the very thing that launches you into your destiny? What if that leap of faith is what separates you from the ordinary and propels you into the extraordinary? You've got to understand something fundamental about life. Playing it safe is the riskiest thing you can do when you play it safe. You're betting against yourself. You're saying, I don't believe in my potential. I don't trust in my abilities. Is that really the message you want to send to yourself? Is that the story you want to write? A potential is like a seed. It's packed with possibility, with promise. But a seed doesn't become a mighty oak by playing it safe. It has to break out of its shell, push through the dirt, stretch towards the sky. It has to take risks, and so do you. Your potential is crying out for expression. It's yearning to be unleashed. But it can't do that if you're constantly holding back. If you're always choosing the safe path. Your potential needs risk to flourish. It needs challenges to grow. Now, I'm not talking about reckless behavior. I'm talking about calculated risks. I'm talking about stepping out of your comfort zone with purpose, with vision. I'm talking about daring to dream bigger than you ever have before. Dreams aren't just nighttime fantasies. They're not just wishful thinking. Your dreams are glimpses of your potential. They're previews of what you could become, of what you could achieve. A dream without action is just a wish. And wishes don't change the world. Action does. What dreams have you been holding back on? What visions have you been too afraid to pursue? What goals have you dismissed as impossible or unrealistic? Those are precisely the things you need to chase after. Those are the risks you need to take. The size of your success is determined by the size of your belief. If you believe you can only achieve small things, guess what? You'll only achieve small things. But if you dare to believe in the impossible, if you have the audacity to chase after big dreams, you open yourself up to big achievements. Now, I know it's not easy. Believe me, I know. Taking risks is scary. It's uncomfortable. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. But that's exactly where growth happens. That's where transformation occurs. That's where you become who you were meant to be. Every great achievement in history started as a risk. The Wright brothers risked ridicule and failure when they dared to believe humans could fly. Martin Luther King Jr. risked his life to stand up for what he believed in. Every entrepreneur risks financial security to pursue their vision. Without risk, we'd still be living in caves, afraid to venture out into the unknown. You've got to understand life is not a spectator sport. You can't sit on the sidelines and expect to win. You've got to get in the game. You've got to be willing to take shots, even if it means you might miss. Even a missed shot teaches you something. It shows you what doesn't work. which brings you one step closer to what does work. Fear will always be there. It's a part of being human. But fear doesn't have to control you. Fear doesn't get to write your story. You do. And you write that story through the choices you make, through the risks you take. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine you're at the end of your life. Looking back, what do you want to see? A life filled with what ifs and if onlys, or a life rich with experiences, filled with achievements, with growth. A life where you dared greatly, where you weren't afraid to fail, where you took risks and reaped rewards. You see, at the end of your life, you won't regret the things you did nearly as much as the things you didn't do. You won't regret the risks you took. You'll regret the ones you didn't take. You won't regret the times you fell. You'll regret the times you didn't even try to fly. Take that risk. Make that leap. Step out into the unknown. Because that's where your story really begins. That's where you start to live, not just exist. Remember, you're not just risking failure. You're risking greatness. You're risking success beyond your wildest dreams. You're risking becoming the person you were always meant to be. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Growth never is. Change is never comfortable. But I promise you this is worth it. The person you'll become through taking risks, through facing your fears, through chasing your dreams, that person is worth every ounce of discomfort, every moment of uncertainty. You've got to understand something. Comfort is the enemy of progress. When you're comfortable, you're not growing. When you're comfortable, you're stagnant. And in a world that's constantly changing, constantly evolving, stagnation is death. You've got to be willing to be uncomfortable. You've got to be willing to stretch yourself. Think about a rubber band for a moment. What gives a rubber band its value? It's not when it's relaxed. A relaxed rubber band isn't doing anything, isn't serving any purpose. A rubber band finds its value when it's stretched. That's when it's useful. That's when it's fulfilling its purpose. You're the same way. Your value, your potential is realized when you're stretched, when you're pushed beyond your limits, when you're taking risks and facing challenges. So many of us are paralyzed by the fear of failure. We're so afraid of not succeeding that we never even try. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every successful person you admire has failed, probably more times than you can count. The difference is they didn't let failure stop them. They used failure as a stepping stone. Failure is not a dead end, it's a detour. It's not a period, it's a comma. It's not the end of your story, it's the beginning of a new chapter. When you fail, you learn. You grow, you become stronger, wiser, more resilient. So don't be afraid of failure. Be afraid of not trying. Be afraid of staying in your comfort zone while your dreams slip away. Be afraid of looking back on your life and wondering, what if? You've got to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing risk as something to avoid, see it as an opportunity. An opportunity to grow, to learn, to become more. Instead of seeing failure as something to fear, see it as feedback. It's the universe telling you, not this way, try another. Your life is too precious, too valuable to play it safe. You were not created to simply exist. You were created to excel. You were created to make a difference, to leave a mark, to change the world in your own unique way. The world doesn't change by people who play it safe. The world changes by risk takers, by dreamers, by those who are willing to step out and do what others say can't be done. What's holding you back? What fears are keeping you from taking that leap? What doubts are plaguing your mind? telling you that you can't do it, that you're not good enough, that it's too late. Those fears, those doubts, they're lies. They're not the truth about who you are. The truth is, you are capable of far more than you can imagine. The truth is, you have greatness within you. The truth is, it's never too late to start, to change, to grow, to become who you were meant to be. But that greatness, that potential, it doesn't just magically appear. It's not going to fall into your lap while you're sitting on your couch, playing it safe. You've got to chase after it. You've got to be willing to risk comfort for growth, to risk the known for the unknown, to risk who you are for who you could become. I want you to do something for me. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. I want you to imagine your ideal life. Not the life you think you can have, but the life you truly want. The life that excites you, that fills you with passion and purpose. Got it? Now, I want you to ask yourself, what risks do I need to take to make that life a reality? Maybe it's starting that business you've been dreaming about. Maybe it's going back to school to pursue a new career. Maybe it's ending a relationship that's holding you back, or starting a relationship that scares you with its potential. Whatever it is, identify it, name it. Because once you name it, you can claim it. You see, that's the power of risk. It bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. It's the price you pay for the life you want to live. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but I'm not ready. I don't have all the answers. I don't have everything figured out. Let me tell you something, you'll never be 100% ready. You'll never have all the answers. And if you wait until you do, you'll be waiting forever. The truth is, you don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You just need the courage to take that step. The rest will unfold as you go. You'll figure it out along the way. You'll grow into the person who can handle the challenges that come. That's the beauty of taking risks. It doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes you. It transforms you. It molds you into the person who can live the life you dream of. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until you have it all figured out. Stop waiting for permission. The perfect moment is now. The time to take that risk is today. Because here's the truth, every day you wait is a day you're not living your best life. Every day you play it safe is a day you're not growing, not becoming, not fulfilling your potential. You've got to understand life is not a dress rehearsal. This is not a practice run. This is your life right here, right now, and it's passing by. Whether you're taking risks or not, so you might as well make it count. You might as well make it a story worth telling. Remember, no risk, no story. Your life story is written in the risks you take, in the challenges you face, in the growth you experience. It's written in those moments when you dare to step out of your comfort zone, when you dare to believe in yourself, when you dare to chase after your dreams. So I challenge you today, take that risk, make that leap, step out into the unknown, because that's where your story really begins. That's where you start to live, not just exist. Don't let fear write your story. Don't let doubt hold the pen. You are the author of your life. You get to decide what happens next. So make it exciting, make it meaningful, make it a story worth telling. Because at the end of the day, that's what life is all about. It's about writing a story that inspires others. It's about leaving a legacy. It's about making a difference in the world. And you can't do that from your comfort zone. You can't do that by playing it safe. You can't do that by letting fear control your decisions. You do that by taking risks, by facing your fears, by chasing your dreams, by becoming the person you were always meant to be. So I ask you one last time, what risk will you take today? What step will you take towards your dreams? What action will you take to start writing your story? Remember, the greatest risk is not taking any risk at all. The greatest failure is not trying. The greatest tragedy is letting your potential go unfulfilled. You have greatness within you. You have a unique purpose, a unique calling, but it's up to you to answer that call. It's up to you to step out and fulfill that purpose. So take that risk. Write your story. Make it one of courage, of growth, of triumph. Make it a story that inspires others to take their own risks, to chase their own dreams. Because when you do that, when you live your life to the fullest, when you dare to become all that you were created to be, you don't just change your own life, you change the world. And that, my friends, is a risk worth taking. What it truly means to take risks in your life. It's not just about making spontaneous decisions or jumping into situations blindly. It's about calculated, purposeful steps towards your goals. It's about having the courage to pursue what truly matters to you, even when the path isn't clear. Think about the great innovators and leaders throughout history. They didn't achieve greatness by following the crowd or sticking to the status quo. They dared to think differently, to challenge conventional wisdom, to take risks that others thought were foolish or impossible. Take Steve Jobs, for example. When he and Steve Wozniak started Apple in a garage, they were taking an enormous risk. They were going up against established tech giants with nothing but a vision and their own determination. But look at the result. Their willingness to take that risk changed the way we communicate, the way we work, the way we live. Or consider Nelson Mandela. He risked everything, his freedom, his safety, even his life for what he believed in. He spent 27 years in prison, but he never gave up on his vision of a free and equal South Africa. His risk-taking changed a nation and inspired the world. These people understood something fundamental, that to achieve great things, you must be willing to risk great things. They knew that playing it safe might provide temporary comfort, but it would never lead to lasting fulfillment or meaningful impact. I'm not saying you need to start a multi-billion-dollar company or lead a political revolution. Your risks don't have to change the world on a global scale to be meaningful. Maybe your risk is starting that small business you've been dreaming about. Maybe it's going back to school to pursue a new career. Maybe it's having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding, or making that big move to a new city. Whatever it is, the principle remains the same. Growth and achievement require risk. They require stepping out of your comfort zone and into the unknown. Taking risks doesn't mean being reckless. It doesn't mean acting without thought or consideration. True risk-taking, the kind that leads to real growth and achievement, is calculated, it's purposeful. It's aligned with your values and your long-term goals. So how do you take meaningful risks? How do you step out of your comfort zone in a way that propels you forward rather than setting you back? Let me share with you a few principles that can guide you. First, know your why. Before you take any significant risk, you need to be clear about why you're doing it. What's driving you? What's the bigger purpose behind this risk? When you're clear about your why, it becomes easier to face the challenges and setbacks that inevitably come with taking risks. Second, do your homework. While you can't eliminate all uncertainty, that's part of what makes it a risk. After all, you can certainly reduce it. Research, plan, prepare. The more informed you are, the more confident you'll feel in taking that leap. Third, start small. You don't have to risk everything all at once. Start with smaller risks. Build your confidence. Learn from the experience. And then gradually take on bigger challenges. Remember, risk-taking is a skill. And like any skill, It improves with practice. Fourth, embrace failure as a teacher. When you take risks, sometimes you'll fail. That's not just okay, it's necessary. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become better. The only real failure is not trying at all. Fifth, develop a growth mindset. Understand that your abilities and intelligence aren't fixed traits, but can be developed through dedication and hard work. This perspective will help you see challenges, opportunities to grow, rather than threats to avoid. Let's consider the impact of risk-taking on your personal development. When you step out of your comfort zone, you're not just changing your external circumstances, you're changing yourself. You're developing resilience, adaptability, and confidence. These are qualities that will serve you well in every area of your life. Think about the last time you took a significant risk. Maybe it didn't work out exactly as you planned, but I bet you learned something valuable from the experience. Maybe you discovered strengths you didn't know you had. Maybe you gained a new perspective on what's truly important to you. These are the hidden rewards of risk-taking, the personal growth that occurs regardless of the outcome. But let's be honest, risk-taking isn't always glamorous. It's not always about big, dramatic moments. Sometimes it's about the small, everyday choices we make. It's about choosing to speak up in a meeting when you have a different opinion. It's about reaching out to someone new, even when it feels awkward. It's about trying a new approach to a problem, even when the old way feels safer. These small risks may seem insignificant, but they add up. They shape your character. They build your courage muscle. They prepare you for the bigger risks, the ones that can truly transform your life. I want to address something that holds many people back from taking risks: the fear of what others will think. We live in a world where it's all too easy to compare ourselves to others, to worry about their judgments and opinions. But here's the truth: those who judge you for taking risks are often the ones too afraid to take risks themselves. Remember, the opinions of others don't define you. Your worth isn't determined by their approval. What matters is that you're true to yourself, that you're living according to your values and pursuing your own dreams. Moreover, when you dare to take risks, when you step out and pursue your dreams, you give others permission to do the same. Your courage can inspire others to find their own courage. Your willingness to risk failure can show others that it's okay to try, even if things don't work out perfectly. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are, they're not the ones who played it safe all their lives. They're the ones who dared to be different, who weren't afraid to stand out, who took risks in pursuit of something greater. You have that same potential within you. You have the ability to inspire, to lead, to make a difference. But it starts with being willing to take risks, to step out of the shadows of comfort and into the light of possibility. In many ways, creativity is all about taking risks. It's about being willing to try new things, to combine ideas in unexpected ways, to challenge the status quo. When you take creative risks, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You allow yourself to see the world in fresh ways. You break free from the limitations of conventional thinking and tap into your true potential. Think about the great artists, inventors, and innovators throughout history. They didn't achieve greatness by following the rules or sticking to what was safe and familiar. They dared to be different. They took risks. They were willing to fail in pursuit of something new and beautiful. The same principle applies in the business world. The companies that thrive in today's fast-paced, ever-changing economy are the ones willing to take risks, to innovate, to disrupt the status quo. They understand that playing it safe is actually the riskiest strategy of all in a world that's constantly evolving. But here's the thing about creative risks: they require vulnerability. They require you to put yourself out there, to share your ideas, your vision, your unique perspective with the world. And that can be scary. It opens you up to criticism and rejection. But it also opens you up to connection, to impact, to the possibility of creating something truly meaningful. And isn't that worth the risk? I want to address another common obstacle to risk-taking: the fear of success. Yes, you heard that right. Many people are actually more afraid of success than they are of failure. Why? Because success brings change, it brings new responsibilities, new expectations, it pushes you out of your familiar routines and comfortable patterns. And for many people, that's scarier than staying where they are, even if where they are isn't particularly satisfying. You were created for growth. You were designed to evolve, to become more, to reach your full potential. And that means embracing change, welcoming new challenges, being willing to step into the unknown territory of success. Don't let the fear of success hold you back. Don't sabotage yourself just as you're on the brink of a breakthrough. Embrace the growth that comes with success. Welcome the new opportunities, the new challenges. They're all part of your journey towards becoming who you were meant to be. Let's talk for a moment about the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people when you're taking risks. The people you spend the most time with have a profound impact on your mindset, your beliefs, your willingness to take risks and pursue your dreams. Are you surrounded by people who encourage you to play it safe, who reinforce your fears and doubts? Or are you surrounded by people who challenge you to grow, who support your dreams, who inspire you to take risks? Seek out people who believe in you, who push you to be your best self. Find mentors who have taken similar risks and can guide you on your journey. Connect with peers who are also stepping out, taking risks, pursuing their dreams. Remember, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose wisely. Surround yourself with risk takers, with dreamers, with doers. Their courage and determination will inspire and motivate you on your own journey. Now, let's consider the role of patience in risk taking. While taking risks often requires quick decision making and bold action, it also requires patience, real. Meaningful change doesn't happen overnight. The risks you take today may not bear fruit for months or even years. But don't let that discourage you. The greatest achievements, the most meaningful transformations, they take time. They require persistence, dedication, and yes, patience. When you plant a seed, you don't see results immediately. For a long time, it might seem like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, that seed is growing, developing strong roots, preparing to break through the soil. Your risks are like that seed. Even when you can't see immediate results, trust that growth is happening. Trust that your efforts are making a difference. Stay patient, stay committed. And eventually, you'll see the fruits of your labor. The power of visualization in risk-taking. Before you take a physical risk, take a mental one. Visualize yourself succeeding. See yourself overcoming obstacles, pushing through challenges, achieving your goals. This isn't just positive thinking, it's mental rehearsal. Athletes use this technique all the time. Before they step onto the field or the court, they've already played the game in their minds. They've visualized their success, rehearsed their moves, prepared themselves mentally for the challenge ahead. You can do the same thing in your life. Before you take that risk, visualize it. See yourself succeeding. Feel the emotions of achievement, of breakthrough, of transformation. This mental rehearsal can give you the confidence and clarity you need to take that leap. I want to address something that often gets overlooked when we talk about risk-taking: the importance of rest and self-care. Taking risks, pursuing your dreams, stepping out of your comfort zone, it's demanding work. It requires energy, focus, and resilience. That's why it's crucial to take care of yourself along the way. Make sure you're getting enough rest. Nourish your body with good food. Take time for activities that recharge you. Whether that's exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, or enjoying time with loved ones. Remember, taking risks isn't about burning yourself out. It's about sustainable growth, about becoming the best version of yourself over the long haul. And that requires balance. It requires knowing when to push forward and when to rest and recharge. Your life is your message to the world. What is your life saying? Is it a story of caution and fear? Of playing it safe and settling for less? Or is it a story of courage, of growth, of daring to become all that you were created to be? You have the power to choose. You have the power to write your own story. And that story begins with the risks you're willing to take, with the leaps of faith you're willing to make. Take that risk. Make that leap. Step out into the unknown. Because that's where your story really begins. That's where you start to live. Not just exist. Remember, no risk, no story. What will your story be?